This is the plan for today. I've got all the pieces nipped off and cleaned up from for step 30 here. There isn't actually that many, and I got this one extra little piece for a bullard. I don't know if I didn't put that on something or what. I found it in one of the tins here, and over here I've got waxed paper covering this half of the masking tape, so that after I get these sprayed, like a lot of these have to be flipped over and painted on the other side. These won't. These bullards, these fairleads won't. But these other pieces will. So I just peel this off, and then I'll have pristine masking tape here, because obviously when I'm spraying, I'm going to be getting overspray onto this. Anyway, enough about that. Yeah, so let's get our air hose connected down in the workshop and get some pressure going here and see if we can't just spray these. Oh, one more thing. You'll notice the test tubes here. I've got test tubes that I can put a lot of these pieces in, because later on, like the F1s, we've already got some made here, and these three right here are more F1s. I won't need them. I won't be wanting to put those on until later, and then I've got it marked off which step it goes with, so that you know where to page back and so on. Because 3-4 months down the road, when I'm looking at a box full of test tubes, I'll be wondering, okay, where does this go? Whenever I'm giving out tips about videoing, one of the tips that I'm almost sure to give out is pan slowly. Does this look like panning slowly to you? Well, I was in a hurry. I wanted to get back upstairs to the model table. Anyway, many happy hours have been spent down here in this workshop over the last few years, making silly little projects that nobody cared about, except me. Now, some of you are probably wondering, what do I mean when I say I have to go down to my workshop to plug in the air compressor? Don't expect any pole dancing. Yeah, my compressor's down here. I know a lot of people have a little airbrush compressor up, close to their model bench. Well, I don't. This is the only one I got, so I got to make use of it. And what happens is, there's an air hose that runs up my stairs and across the ceiling and over to the model table. So you're going to think, well, why don't you just leave it plugged in? They don't need to keep running back and forth up and down the stairs. Well, the problem is that somewhere between here and the regulator upstairs for the airbrush, there's a slow leak. And what happens is that my air compressor, about once every 24 hours, or maybe even more, it's going to cut in on me. And it'll always do it just when I'm going to fall asleep. And it's noisy. And I don't want it to run for nothing anyway. Some people might say, well, that'll keep the pump lubricated. Well, yeah. Now, as long as we're down here in the workshop, I don't know if I've ever showed you this or not. This is another model ship that I built. It's the USS Constitution. I think it's a Reveal kit. I'm not sure. I'm not sure of the scale anymore. I thought it was 172, but I don't know, somehow I think it was actually larger than that. Quite likely some of you made this same model. After I took that shot, I looked it up, and as near as I can tell, it's this kit right here. I don't know if it's still available or not. This was back in the 80s when I got it. Anyway, thought I'd just show that as long as I'm down here, because I know you know that I have the Titanic and Lusitania down here as well. Now, I thought I'd show you where the other end of the air hose comes out here up by the model table. The regulator on the tank downstairs is set to 80 pounds. The tank itself, it goes all the way from, kicks in around 105, and it goes up to about 135 and then cuts out, of course. So I need this to step everything down. Right now I'm going to start spraying at a little over 20 pounds, maybe 25 pounds here. We'll see how it goes. It seems that works about the best. Well, let's see what we can do here. Now, before I get going here, I sort of want to explain what I'm planning on doing. And I've never done this before, so it may not work. And what I'm planning to do is to not clean out my airbrush while I'm waiting for these to dry. However, because I don't want to wait all day for these to dry, well, like 2-3 hours, I'm going to force dry them with the heat gun here. I'm going to have it set for about 160 degrees, and just dry off these pieces that I'm going to want to flip over onto this side, and we'll see. I'm imagining that about 15 minutes is going to pass here. Am I going to have problems here with my airbrush because I didn't empty the paint out? I'm hoping not. We'll see what happens. Like I say, I've never done it before. Now, there's something I should maybe clarify here, and that is that I meant 160 degrees Fahrenheit, not Celsius. This is supposed to be extra large. Okay, here's hoping I don't need this. And I've already shaken this up in the paint shaker, so it's probably ready to go here. Now let's get our fan going. I did the heat gun thing for about 3 minutes or so, and like I say, I was pretty leery because this was the very first time I'd done this. I was wondering, was it going to maybe make the masking tape stick extra hard to the pieces and going to end up with tape gum, stuck on the pieces? A lot of stuff was going through my mind here. But as it turned out, it turned out. I'm missing one of these. Yeah, I don't know. Or am I missing two of these? 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh no, there's 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I'm missing one of these. And what happened was when I was taking it off of the tape, it pinged off. It's somewhere on the floor. I hope I don't step on it. I'm going to look for it later and paint it with a brush. There's approximately 24, maybe 25 pieces if you include this little one that I don't know where it goes. What we'll do is we'll very carefully get these things all together, and I'll zoom in a little bit closer and we'll have a nice close look. There was something on this one here that I thought it made it, yeah, right there. You can just see it right there on the, just above that light fixture. Okay, well that's going to have to be touched up. Oh, I did find the one that pinged onto the floor, and it was in a very bad place. If I had rolled my chair in the wrong way, that would have been the end of it. All of these pieces are going to go into the test tubes, and they appear to be okay. Maybe a little touch-up right there. Well, mind you, when this piece gets glued onto this one right here, I believe it is, yeah, then we're going to have to touch it up later anyway, because the extra thin is going to dissolve the paint. Now, where was that where it looked like we needed to put... Yeah, there it is. You can see it a lot clearer now, right, just right there. But there again, maybe I should wait until later, because that's just about the place where this thing here is going to come up against it. I imagine it'll probably, this part right here will probably touch right there. I'm just guessing. Otherwise, I think that it turned out okay. And did you notice that I'm restraining myself from constantly poking? It was hard. Now, I do not like taking our hood out of its dry dock, except these things here are in the way. In fact, they come right about right here where this is. Now, here's something I'm wondering. Would these maybe just pressure fit on there? Well, I think so. About the only way they're going to come off, even if they were loose, is if I turned the ship upside down and shook it. Yeah, that seems to be on there pretty tight. Okay, this way I don't need to worry about, getting glue all over the place. That's a tight fit. Looks like it's all the way down. that's a tight fit. And then there's the 4 up here. I probably could have done that on the bow as well. Oops. This one doesn't seem to want to go very good. There we go. I think there was, excuse me, I think there was 14 on the bow. There's only 8 here. Whoops. Well, at least I know where that one went. Maybe I should be using my steady rest here somehow. This one doesn't want to go too good either. I might have to put a little bit of extra thin inside the... Okay, now there's 2 of them I have to go look for. And this is exactly where they fell. Okay, I'll reposition the camera and we'll look right here. Okay, I put a little bit of extra thin in the hole there. Try not to drop it. Wants to hydraulic up maybe on this one here. Let's try this one again, just pressure fit. Yeah. That one went a little better. This one keeps popping back up. It keeps hydraulicing. Well, we better take it off here. Can I get some of that out of there? I did try to put less in. What'll I get? I'll use a toothpick and... Well, when that cures, or dries, it's not coming off. It'll take the peg with it first. Too bad we got that bit of a mess going on there. Now, I almost made a mistake here. I was going to put one of these F-28s right here because I thought that's where it went, but obviously it doesn't. It goes over here, and if you look very carefully, you can see there's a little mark on the gunnel. I'll reposition. Now, is it flush with the edge? Pretty much. Now remember, Ron, we don't want to give it a bath. We just want to glue it down. Now, A30 is supposed to go right here. But you notice that the outline on the deck is drawn in such a way that it indicates that it's supposed to go like this. I get something different to poke with. The poking device. That looks perfect from looking straight down. why does it... I didn't want it to go on the top. Okay. Well, let's just leave that. Okay. I've gone ahead and I've put A31 and the other F28 on this side. It's easier to remember to say this side than to try and think, is it port or starboard? This is always right. Anyway, yeah. Now, all of these other pieces, like the davits and the ensign flag staff and that sort of thing, and this little piece right here, that's all going to go on later. So we are done step 30. Now, I know a person tends to want to think, well, why don't I just flip the page and we'll start on 31? I've already looked at it. As you can see, I've separated stuff here. However, I think we should go back and put the anchor chain on. That was way back here. Step 26. So let's back up and put the anchor chain on. But that's going to have to be tomorrow, folks. So in tomorrow's episode, we'll be seeing the anchor chain. And we might get into this, but I don't think so. I think the anchor chain's probably going to give us a whole big bunch of trouble. On the other hand, maybe we'll be lucky. Maybe I'll send Murphy over to the neighbor. Anyway, thanks for watching. And all being well, we will see you tomorrow.